if I can just become rich, if the people will just love me, if people will give me a golden statue, somehow I'll feel validated, like I matter, like none of the bad stuff that happened to me is consequential. And what they inevitably find is it fills no voids. It only adds to their problems. All the emptiness is still there. This is what happened to Matthew Perry, among many, many others. And I think, I don't want to psychoanalyze Taylor Swift, but I don't think this level of fame is healthy for anyone. We've started to make her some sort of an idol, and that's sick on our part. I try to counter-program this with my kids all the time, saying she's a singer, she sings some good songs. That's it. She's not someone to look up to, and let this be a lesson to us all, that we don't foster that kind of a relationship with a stranger who's chosen to go into one of these very damaging industries, because then they've got your kid in the palm of their hand and they can use that power for evil.
That is so wise.
What's up, guys?
Tough.
that guy doing over there? Ooh, they're taking advantage of us now. Come on. Hey Bosco, what's happening? I did not mean to play a game of Trump shot there. Good shot. Good shot, mate. Definitely messed up my play, but that's okay. Play, missed it. From him? Dude, that's freaking okay. Oh no, win, I'm gonna be up around there, that's a problem. Damn bro, I'm sucking. Oh, you can't. Oh, you don't have it on. Wait, you don't have it on Amazon? Not selling it on Amazon? Well, Audible. That's where I buy it because I have Audible. Man, my feet hurt from today, dude. I was running everywhere. He does, but he doesn't control shipping, therefore can't get it signed. Oh, yeah, no, that's understandable. Yeah, I clearly understand that. Oh, no. Shit, kickoff. Unfortunate. Got that out of the way for the day. And an own goal. Hell yeah, dude. $5 more. I feel like there's a lot going on. These kids have no idea what they're doing, bro. Like, yeah. Bunch of other shitters. Bosco, how's your day, though? Yeah, those kids were fucking really bad. Really, really bad. I synced it. I synced it happening. Oh my god, that was a great pass. Bro, you missed a stream? That's tough, bro. Two stream streak, I got screwed, man. I can't help that, bro. I'm getting carried for this, but they keep ball chasing, so let them do their thing, right? Yeah, I'm throwing intentionally though. The guy was stealing all the boosts, and I don't. Whatever. They need to go down a little bit in rank, so. Or you might get it actually. Go for the ball, what the fuck? Ah. Easy peasy. He got balled on that. Wait, what? I mean, I thought you hit it there, right? Like, oh. Fuck. Good shit. What the fuck? This guy's a little retarded. Sprinkled on with a little bit of idiot. Two goals. He's messed up now. Open net, pretty great. Oh, I wanted it actually. I lost it. I lost this the game because I'm bad. This kid's actually coming back. He surpassed me. Idiots. Idiots. I just find no pleasure in these games. Let's see what we got on the YouTube real quick.
I hope it is. Hey, Bob.
Major company. After buying Twitter for $44 billion, Musk's time as CEO has been a whirlwind. Shares of Musk's other major company, Tesla, have plummeted more than 30% since he took over Twitter. As is often the case, his next move is unclear.
I go as far to say that he's demonstrating some erratic behavior.
Go fuck yourself.
Go
Is that
fuck
fair?
yourself.
I hope it is. Hey, Bob. If you're in the audience.
Elon Musk's cooperation and/or relationships with other countries is worthy of being looked at.
The Biden administration has just announced its second investigation into Elon Musk in less than a week.
Both the Tesla and SpaceX, there's a product roadmap that they're on, and that whether Elon is in the building or not is not going to impact the plan that they have.
People said he'd never get the rocket in space. He did that. People said the Roadster would never get delivered. He did that. People said he'd never get 100 of them done. He's got 200 done. As an entrepreneur, you can't listen to the noise. And you certainly can't listen to losers who have never accomplished anything with their life who are obsessing about you. Please.
We're out there among the stars, and we're a multi-planet species across many planets and many star systems. This is a great future, and that's what we should strive for.
Twitter customer support at your service.
Nearly every VC I speak with, every CEO, is looking to Elon's behavior and saying that's a model for how you can challenge your team to achieve the impossible in an impossibly difficult environment.
And you can see those grid fins on your left-hand screen rotating and turning to guide the booster, and there's that landing burn. Landing burn just begun, and you can see the water below.
Dude, the things that this man has accomplished over every other man, woman in the world, incredible.
He's just a visionary like I've never seen.
How on earth would you bet against him?
Elon seems to be on track to be not only the world's richest man, but the world's first trillionaire.
Elon basically has had, over the last 10 or 15 years, an incredible amount of challenges that he's overcome. Probably had to deal with stuff that most of us would have broken under, and he just fought through it. And the guy just basically bended all the haters until he crushed their souls. And I just think that that's incredible.
Elon Musk!
Hey guys. Grab my stuff. You sit there, I'm gonna take this.
All right. Thanks for taking the time. How you doing, brother? You keeping busy?
Yeah. I mean, it's rarely a slow week. I mean, in the world as well.
Yeah.
I mean, any given week, I mean, it just seems like the things get nuttier.
It's definitely a simulation. We've agreed on this at this point.
I mean, like, well, if we are in some alien Netflix series, I think the ratings are high.
Yes. Ratings are high. How are the freedom of speech wars going? This is you've been at war for 2 years now.
Yes.
The price of freedom of speech is not cheap, is it?
I think it's like 44 billion, something like that.
Just
Round numbers.
give her,
Round
give or
numbers.
take $1 billion.
Boss got to
Yeah,
man.
round numbers.
Yeah.
It's pretty nutty. There is like this weird movement to quell free speech kind of around the world, and this is something we should be very concerned about. You know, you have to ask, like, why was the First Amendment like a high priority? You know, it was like number one. It's because people came from countries where if you spoke freely, you would be imprisoned or killed. And they were like, well, we'd like to not have that here, because that was terrible. And actually, you know, there's a lot of places in the world right now, if you're critical of the government, you get imprisoned or killed.
Right.
Yeah, we'd like to not have that.
And are you concerned?
Can I add to that?
Yeah.
I mean, I suspect this is a receptive audience to that message.
Yeah. I think we always thought that the West was the exception to that we knew there were authoritarian places around the world, but we thought that in the West we'd have freedom of speech. And we've seen, like you said, it seems like a global movement. In Britain, you've got teenagers being put in prison for memes,
Yes.
opposing.
It's like you like to Facebook post, throw them in the prison.
Yeah, I mean, it's
like people have gotten actual, you know, prison for like obscure comments on social media.
Not even shit posting yet.
Like not even.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Pavel got thrown in prison
You've got
recently.
Pavel.
I'm like, that was pretty shook about that. I was like, what is the massive crime that?
Right. Pavel in France, and then of course we got Brazil with Judge Voldemort. That one seems like the one that impacts you the most. What's the latest on that?
Well, I guess we are trying to figure out, is there some reasonable solution in Brazil? The concern, I mean, I want to just make sure that this is framed correctly. You know, funny memes aside, the nature of the concern was that, at least at X Corp, we had the perception that we were being asked to do things that violated Brazilian law. So obviously we cannot, as an American company, impose American laws and values on other countries. We wouldn't get very far if we did that. But we do, you know, think that if a country's laws are a particular way, and we're being asked to we think we're being asked to break them, then and be silent about it, then obviously that is no good. Mm-hmm. So I just want to be clear, because this sometimes comes across as Elon's trying to just be a crazy whatever billionaire and demand outrageous things from other countries. And, you know, while that is true, in addition, there are other things that I think are, you know, valid, which is like we obviously can't, you know, I think any given thing that we do at X Corp, we've got to be able to explain in the light of day and not feel that it was dishonorable or, you know, we did the wrong thing, you know. So we don't, that's the nature of the concern. So we actually are in sort of discussions with the, you know, judicial authorities in Brazil to try to, you know, run this to ground. Like, what's actually going on? Like, if we're being asked to break the law, Brazilian law, then that obviously should not sit well with the Brazilian judiciary. And if we're not and we're mistaken, we'd like to understand how we're mistaken. I think that's a pretty reasonable position.
I'm a bit concerned, as your friend, that you're going to go to one of these countries, and I'm going to wake up one day and you're going to get arrested, and like I'm going to have to go bail you out or something. Like this feels very acute. Like,
yes.
I mean, it's not a joke now. Like they're literally saying, like, it's not just Biden saying like we have to look into that guy. Now it's become quite literal. Like this, I don't. Who was the guy who just wrote the? Was it the Guardian piece about like?
Oh
hey,
yeah. There've been 3 articles, and I think in the past 3 weeks.
Robert Reich.
But it wasn't just him. It was like 3 different articles.
3 different articles. Yeah.
It doesn't. That's a trend.
Calling for me to be imprisoned in the Guardian. Guardian of what?
What are they protecting exactly? Yeah.
Guardian of, I don't know.
Authoritarianism?
Yeah. Guardian of,
Censorship?
Censorship.
But the premise here is that you bought this thing, this online forum, this communication platform, and you're allowing people to use it to express themselves. Therefore, you have to be jailed. I don't understand the logic here.
Right.
What do you think they're actually afraid of at this point? What's the motivation here?
I mean, I think if somebody's afraid, if somebody's sort of trying to push a false premise on the world, then that premise can be undermined with
Elon Musk looking
then they will
thick.
be opposed to public dialogue on that.
Look at that
premise,
belly.
They wish that false premise
Look at that.
prevail.
Right.
So that's, I think, the issue there is if they don't like the truth, then we want to suppress it. So now, what we're trying to do with X Corp is I distinguish that from my son, who's also called X.
Yes. Right. You have parental goals, and then you have goals for the company.
Everything's just called X, basically.
Yes.
It's very difficult disambiguation.
The car, the sun.
Yeah, it's X everything. What we're trying to do is simply adhere to the laws in a country. So if something is illegal in the United States, or if it's illegal in Europe or Brazil or wherever it might be, then we will take it down, or we'll suspend the account, because we're not there to make the laws. But if speech is not illegal, then what are we doing? Okay, now we're injecting ourselves in as a censor, and where does it stop? And who decides? So, and where does that path lead? I think it leads to a bad place. So if the people in a country want the laws to be different, they should make the laws different. But otherwise, we're going to obey the law in each jurisdiction.
Right, and some of these European...
That's it. It's not more complicated than that. We're not trying to flout the law. I'm going to be clear about that. We're trying to adhere to the law. And if the laws change, we will change. And if the laws don't change, we won't. We're just literally trying to adhere to the law.
It's pretty straightforward.
Yes, it's very straightforward. And if somebody thinks we're not adhering to the law, well, they can file a lawsuit. Bingo.
Also very straightforward. Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, there are European countries that don't want people to promote Nazi propaganda.
Yes.
They have some sensitivity to it.
Well, it is illegal.
It is illegal in those countries.
It is legal.
And in those countries, if somebody puts that up, you take it down.
Yes.
But they typically file something and say, take this down. And
no, in some cases, it is just obviously illegal. Like, you don't need to file a lawsuit for, if something is just, unequivocally illegal. We can literally read the law. This violates the law. Anyone can see that. Like you don't need, like if somebody is stealing, you don't need. Let me check the law on that.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh no, they're stealing
San
stuff.
Francisco.
Let's talk about. So we had JD Vance here this morning. He did a great job. And one of the things is there's this image on X of basically you, Bobby, Trump, and JD are like the Avengers, I guess. And then there's another meme where you're in front of a desk where it says DOGE.
Yeah.
The Department of Governmental Efficiency.
Yes. I posted that one.
Tell us about
I made it using Grok, the Grok image generator. and I posted it.
Tell us about
and put it to my profile.
Seek for efficiency. How do you do it?
Well, I mean, I think with great difficulty, but look, it's been a long time since there was a serious effort to reduce the size of government and to remove absurd regulations.
Yeah.
And the last time there was a really concerted effort on that front was Reagan in the early '80s. So we're 40 years away from a serious effort to remove regulations that don't serve the greater good and reduce the size of government. And I think it's just, if we don't do that, then what's happening is that we get regulations and laws accumulating every year until eventually everything's illegal. And that's why we can't get major infrastructure projects done in the United States. Like if you look at the absurdity of the California high-speed rail, I think they've spent $7 billion and have a 1,600-foot segment that doesn't actually have rail in it. I mean, your tax dollars at work, I mean,
yeah, what are we doing?
That's an expensive 1,600 feet of concrete, you know? And I mean, I think it's like, if, you know, I realize sometimes I'm perhaps a little optimistic with schedules, but, you know, I mean, I wouldn't be doing the things I'm doing if I was, you know, not an optimist. But at the current trend, you know, California high-speed rail might finish sometime next century. Maybe,
well,
but probably not.
We'll have teleportation by that time. So.
Yeah, exactly. We'll just have the AI do everything at that point. So you can, I think you really think of, you know, the United States and many countries. It's arguably worse in the EU, as being like Gulliver tied down by a million little strings, and like any one given regulation is not that bad, but you've got a million of them, and or millions actually, and then eventually you just can't get anything done, and this is a massive tax on the consumer, on the people. It's just they don't realize that there's this massive tax in the form of irrational regulations. I'm going to give you a recent example that you know is just insane. Is that like SpaceX was fined by the EPA $140,000 for they claimed dumping potable water on the ground.
Dumping water, yeah.
Drinking water. So, and we're like, this is at Starbase, and we're like, we're in a tropical thunderstorm region. That stuff comes from the sky all the time, and there was no actual harm done. You know, it was just water to cool the launch pad during liftoff, and there's zero harm done. Like, and they agree, yes, there's zero harm done. And we're like, okay, so there's no harm done, and but you want us to pay a $140,000 fine? It's like, yes, because you didn't have a permit. Okay, we didn't know there was a permit needed for zero harm fresh water being on the ground in a place where fresh water falls from the sky all the time.
Got it. Next to the ocean.
Next to the ocean.
Because there's a little bit of water there too.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes it rains so much the roads are flooded. So we're like, you know, how does this make any sense?
Hey, Pop.
And then like, then they were like, well, we're not going to process any more of your applications for launch, for Starship launch, unless you pay this $140,000. So they just ransomed us, and we're like, okay, so we paid $140,000. But it's like, this is no good. I mean, at this rate, we're never going to get to Mars.
I mean, that's the confounding part here.
Yeah.
Is we're acting against our own self-interest. You know, when you look at, we do have to make, putting aside fresh water, but hey, you know, the rocket makes a lot of noise. So I'm certain there's some complaints about noise once in a while, but sometimes you want to have a party where you want to make progress, and there's a little bit of noise. Therefore, you know, we trade off a little bit of noise for massive progress or even fun.
Yes.
So, like, when did we stop being able to make those trade-offs? But talk about the difference between California and Texas, where you and I now reside. Texas, you were able to build the Gigafactory. I remember when you got the plot of land, and then it seemed like it was less than 2 years when you had the party to open it.
Yeah. From start of construction to completion was 14 months. 14 months.
Is there anywhere on the planet that would go faster? Is like China faster than that?
China was 11 months.
Got it. So Texas, China, 11 and 14 months. California, how many months?
And just to give you a sense of size, the Tesla Gigafactory in China is 3 times the size of the Pentagon.
Which was the biggest building in America?
No, there are bigger buildings, but the Pentagon's a pretty big one.
Yeah, or it was the biggest.
In units of Pentagon, it's like 3.
Okay, 3 Pentagons and counting.
Yeah.
Got it.
In 14 months. Just the regulatory approvals in California would have taken 2 years. So that's the issue.
Where do you think the regulation helps? Like for the people that will say, we need some checks and balances. We can't have some, because for every good actor like you, there'll be a bad actor. So where is that line?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't sort of, in sort of doing a sensible deregulation and reduction in the size of government is just like be very public about it and say like, which of these rules do you, if the public is really excited about a rule and wants to keep it, we'll just keep it. And here's the thing about the rules: if the rule is, turns out to be bad, we'll just put it right back. Okay, and then, problem solved. It's like it's easy to add rules, but we don't actually have a process for getting rid of them. That's the issue. There's no garbage collection for rules.
When we were watching you work, David and I and Antonio, in that first month at Twitter, which was all hands on deck, and you were doing zero-based budgeting, you really quickly got the cost under control, and then miraculously, everybody said this site will go down, and you added 50 more features. So maybe explain, because this is the first time.
Yeah, there were so many articles like that this is Twitter is dead forever. There's no way it could possibly even continue at all.
It was almost like the press was rooting for you to fail.
Let's write the obituary. Like, here's the obituary.
They're all saying their goodbyes on Twitter. Remember that?
Yeah.
They were all leaving and saying their goodbyes because the site was going to melt down. And
to totally fail and
all the journalists left.
And
which is if you ever want to like hang out with a bunch of hall monitors, oh my God, Threads is amazing. Every time I go over there and post, they're like, they're really triggered. But
yeah, I mean, if you like being condemned repeatedly, then for reasons that make no sense, then Threads is the way to go.
Yeah, it's really, it's the most miserable place on earth. If Disney's the happiest, this is the anti-Disney.
Yeah.
But if we were to go into government, you went into the Department of Education or pick the department. You've worked with a lot of them, actually.
Sure.
You can't go in there in zero-based budget. Okay, we get it. But if you could just pair 2, 3, 4, 5% of those organizations, what kind of impact could that have?
Yeah, I mean, I think we'd need to do more than that. I think
ideally, but compounding every year, 2 or 3% a year. I mean, it would be better than what's happening now.
Yeah, look, I think we've if Trump wins, and obviously I suspect there are people with mixed feelings about whether that should happen, but we do have an opportunity to do kind of a once-in-a-lifetime deregulation and reduction in the size of government. Because the other thing, besides the regulations, America is also going bankrupt extremely quickly. And everyone seems to be sort of whistling past the graveyard on this one. But
they're all grabbing the silverware. Everyone's stuffing their pockets in the silverware before the Titanic sinks. It's like,
well, the Defense Department budget is a very big budget. Okay, it's $1 trillion a year. DoD Intel, it's $1 trillion. And interest payments on the national debt just exceeded the Defense Department budget. But they're over $1 trillion a year, just in interest, and rising. We're adding $1 trillion to our debt, which our kids and grandkids are going to have to pay somehow. Every 3 months, and then soon it's going to be every 2 months, and then every month, and then the only thing we'll be able to pay is interest. And if this is, it's just it's just like a person at scale that has racked up too much credit card debt, this does not have a good ending. And so we have to reduce the spending.
Let me ask one question, because I've brought this up a lot, and the counter-argument I hear, which I disagree with, but the counter-argument I hear from a lot of politicians is if we reduce spending, because right now if you add up federal, state, and local government spending, it's between 40 and 50% of GDP. So nearly half of our economy is supported by government spending, and nearly half of people in the United States are dependent directly or indirectly on government checks, and either through contractors that the government pays, or they're employed by a government entity. So if you go in and take
Thank you guys
too
for
hard
watching
an
on
act
YouTube,
too
by the way. I
fast,
appreciate that.
you will
Thank
have
you.
significant contraction, job loss, and recession. What's the balancing act, Elon? Just thinking realistically, because I'm 100% on board with you. The next set of steps, however, assume Trump wins and you become the chief DOGE of DOG, like double G. Yeah, and I think the challenge is how quickly can we go in? How quickly can things change? And without
Rocking the boat, Dogecoin. That's why he's like,
without all the contraction.
he'll pump the price a little bit, and then he'll get hit by the SEC with another
so much of the
lawsuit.
economy and so many
You can't even
jobs
say
and
the word
livelihoods are dependent on government spending.
Dogecoin, the cryptocurrency.
Well,
Can't even say the beginning name,
I do think
or he'll get hit with a
sort
lawsuit.
of, it's a false dichotomy. It's not like no government spending is going to happen. You really have to say, like, is it the right level? And just remember that any given person, if they are doing things in a less efficient organization versus a more efficient organization, their contribution to the economy, their net output of goods and services will reduce. I mean, you've got a couple of clear examples between East Germany and West Germany, North Korea and South Korea. I mean, North Korea, they're starving. South Korea, it's like amazing.
It's the future. The compounding effect of productivity gains. Yeah.
Yeah, it's night and day.
Yeah.
And so in the North Korea, you've got 100% government. In South Korea, you've got probably, 40% government. It's not zero. And yet you've got a standard of living that is probably 10 times higher in South Korea. At least, exactly. And then East and West Germany, in West Germany, you had, just thinking in terms of cars, I mean, you had BMW, Porsche, Audi, Mercedes, and East Germany, which is a random line on a map. The only car you could get was a Trabant, which is basically a lawnmower with a shell on it. And it was extremely unsafe. There was a 20-year wait. So you put your kid on the list as soon as they're conceived. And even then, only I think a quarter of people maybe got this lousy car. And it's just the same. So that's just an interesting example of basically the same people, different operating system. And it's not like West Germany was some a capitalist heaven. It's quite socialist actually. So when you look, probably it was half government in West Germany and 100% government in East Germany. And again, it's sort of a 5 to, I'd like to call it at least a 5 to 10x standard of living difference, and even qualitatively vastly better. And it's obviously, sometimes people have these, amazingly in this modern era, this debate as to which system is better. Well, I'll tell you which system is better. The one that doesn't need to build the wall to keep people in. Okay, that's how you can tell. Okay. Yeah. It's a dead giveaway.
Spoiler alert.
Dead giveaway.
Are they climbing the wall to get out or come in?
You have to build a barrier to keep people in. That is the bad system. It wasn't West Berlin that built the wall. Okay. They were like, anyone who wants to flee West Berlin, go ahead.
Speaking of walls.
So, and if you look at sort of the flux of boats from Cuba, there's a large number of boats from Cuba, and there's a bunch of free boats that anyone can take to go back to Cuba.
Yeah. Plenty of seats.
There's hey, wow, an abandoned boat. I could use this boat to go to Cuba, where they have communism. Awesome.
Yes.
And yet nobody picks up those boats and does it. Amazing.
Giving this a lot of thought.
Yeah.
Wait, so your point is jobs will be created if we cut government spending in half.
Yes.
Jobs will be created fast enough to make up for, just to count.
Yes. Obviously, I'm not suggesting that people have immediately tossed out with no severance and can't pay their mortgage. There needs to be some reasonable off ramp where. Yeah. So a reasonable off ramp where they're still earning, they're still receiving money, but have a year or two to find jobs in the private sector, which they will find, and then they will be in a different operating system. Again, you can see the difference. East Germany was incorporated into West Germany. Living standards in East Germany rose dramatically.
Well,
So
in 4 years, if you could shrink the size of the government with Trump, what would be a good target? Just in terms of like ballpark.
I mean, are you trying to get me assassinated before this even happens?
No. Pick a low number.
I mean, there's that old phrase, go postal. I mean, it's like they might.
Yeah.
On me.
So we'll keep the post office.
I mean, I need a hell of a security details, guys.
Yes.
I mean, the sheer number of disgruntled workers, former government employees, is quite a scary number. I mean, I might not make it.
I was saying low digits every year for 4 years would be palatable. Yeah, and I like your idea of an
but the thing is that if it's not done, like if you have a once in a lifetime or once in a generation opportunity, and you don't take serious action, and then you have 4 years to get it done, and then if it doesn't get done, then
how serious is Trump about this? Like you've talked to him about it, yeah?
Yeah, I think
he's serious.
He is very serious about it.
Got it.
And no, I think actually the reality is that if we get rid of nonsense regulations and shift people from the government sector to the private sector, we will have immense prosperity, and I think we will have a golden age in this country, and it'll be fantastic.
Can we talk about SpaceX? You have a bunch of critical milestones coming up.
Yeah, in fact, there's a very exciting launch that is maybe happening tonight. So if the weather is holding up, then I'm going to leave here, head to Cape Canaveral for the Polaris Dawn mission, which is a private mission funded by Jared Isaacman, and he's an awesome guy. And this will be the first time, the first commercial spacewalk, and it'll be at the highest altitude since Apollo. So it's the furthest from Earth that anyone's gone.
And what comes after that? Let's assume that's successful.
I sure hope so, man.
No pressure.
Yeah, we're absolutely astronaut safety is, man. If I had like all the wishes I could say about that, would be the one to put it on. So, space is dangerous. So the next milestone after that would be the next flight of Starship, which Starship is the next flight of Starship is ready to fly. We are waiting for regulatory approval.
Yeah.
It really should not be possible to build a giant rocket faster than the paper can move from one desk to another.
That stamp is really hard. Approved.
Yeah.
You ever see that movie Zootopia?
Approved.
You ever see that movie Zootopia? There's like a sloth.
Yeah. He's coming in for the approval.
Yeah, and then he accidentally tell a joke, and then it's like, oh no, this is gonna take a long time.
Sorry.
But yeah, the Zootopia, the funny thing is, like, so I went to the DMV about, I don't know, a year later after Zootopia, and to get my license renewal, and the guy in an exercise of incredible self-awareness had the sloth from Zootopia in his
his cube?
In his cube, and he was actually Swift.
Yeah. with the mandate, beat the sloth.
Yeah, no.
Personal agency.
No, I mean, sometimes people think the government is more competent than it is. I'm not saying that there aren't competent people in the government. They're just in an operating system that is inefficient. Once you move them to a more efficient operating system, their output is dramatically greater, as we've seen. When East Germany was reintegrated with West Germany, and the same people were vastly more prosperous with a basically half-capitalist operating system. So, but I mean, for a lot of people, their maybe most direct experience with the government is the DMV. And then the important thing to remember is that the government is the DMV at scale.
Right.
That's the government.
Got the mental picture.
How much do you want to scale it? Yeah.
Elon, sorry, can you go back to Chamath's question on Starship? So you announced just the other day Starship going to Mars in 2 years, and
By the way.
huh?
Yeah.
And then 4 years for a crewed aspirational launch in the next window. And how much is the government involved?
I'm
NASA?
not saying like set your watch by these, not but these, but based on our current progress, where with Starship we were able to successfully reach orbital velocity twice. We were able to achieve soft landings of the booster and the ship in water, and that's despite the ship having half its flaps cooked off. So you can see the video on the X platform. It's quite exciting. So, we think we'll be able to have to launch reliably and repeatedly and quite quickly, and the fundamental holy grail breakthrough for rocket
Hey, thank you guys for tuning in.
fundamental
I'm also
breakthrough that
live
is
on
needed
X
for
and YouTube and Facebook.
life to become multiplanetary is a
Make sure you guys go
rapidly
like and
reusable,
subscribe.
reliable rocket. Bit of pirate somehow. Throw a pirate in there. So with Starship is the first rocket design where success is one of the possible outcomes with full reusability.
Hey, I love you guys. Thank you guys for
So
stopping in,
for any given
seriously.
project, you have to say, this is the circle.
If you guys like the content, turn your notification bell on,
and it
get
is
everything,
success,
stay up to date.
the success dot in the circle. Is success in
You
the
guys
set
are
of
having a
possible
drink
outcomes.
tonight.
That's,
Cheers. To your nicest
sounds
glass
pretty
of
obvious,
scotch
but
you guys can
there are often
find.
projects where that is success is not in the set of possible outcomes. And so Starship,
and also
not only is
your finest bud
full
you can
reusability in the
possibly
set of
smoke.
possible outcomes, it is being proven with each launch, and I'm confident it will succeed. It's simply a matter of time, and if we can get some improvement in the speed of regulation, we could actually move a lot faster. So that would be very helpful. And in fact, if something isn't done about reducing regulation and sort of speeding up approvals, and to be clear, I'm not talking about anything unsafe. It's simply the processing of the safe thing can be done at as fast as the rocket is built, not slower. Then we could become a spacefaring civilization and a multi-planet species and be out there among the stars in the future. And there's, it's just very, it's incredibly important that we have things that we find inspiring, that you look to the future and say the future is going to be better than the past, things to look forward to. And like kids are a good way to assess this. Like, what are kids fired up about? And if you could say, you could be an astronaut on Mars. You could maybe one day go beyond the solar system. We could make Star Trek, Starfleet Academy real. That is an exciting future. That is inspiring. You need things that move your heart.
Fuck yeah. Let's do it. Fuck. I mean,
Like life can't just be about solving one miserable problem after another.
Right.
There's got to be things that you look forward to as well.
yeah. And do you think you might have to move it to a different jurisdiction and to move faster? I've always wondered if, like...
Rocket technology is considered an advanced weapons technology, so we can't just go do it,
In another country?
Yes.
Yeah, interesting. And if we don't do it, other countries could do it. I mean, they're so far behind us, but theoretically, there's a national security, justification here. If somebody can put their thinking caps on, like, do we want to have this technology that you're building, the team's working so hard on, stolen by other countries, and then, maybe they don't have as much red tape?
I wish people were trying to steal it. So that no one's trying to steal it. It's just too. It's too crazy, basically.
Yeah. And that's for you. Yeah, it's way too crazy.
Elon, what do you think is going on that led to Boeing building the Starline? The way that
They're already laughing just because he said
they were
Boeing.
able to get it up.
Boeing. terrible.
But not
Boeing,
complete.
But can't complete.
you
They
will
can't finish.
probably die. Well,
I
I mean, not
understand.
probably. There's like a 3% chance, like 3% chance with Boeing. But Boeing is
Well,
god awful.
I mean, I think Boeing is a company
3%
that
needs to be as
is-
close to 0%
Yeah,
as possible.
They actually do so much business with the government. They have sort of impedance match to the government. So they're like basically one notch away from the government, maybe two. They're not far from the government from an efficiency standpoint because they derive so much of their revenue from the government. Now, a lot of people think, well, SpaceX is super dependent on the government, and actually, no, most of our revenue is commercial. And there's been, I think, at least up until perhaps recently, because they have a new CEO who actually shows up in the factory. And the CEO before that, I think, had a degree in accounting and never went to the factory and didn't know how airplanes flew. So I think if you are in charge of a company that makes airplanes fly and a spacecraft go to orbit,
You need to know the
then
rocket.
it can't be a total mystery as to how they work. So, you know, I'm like, sure, if somebody's like running Coke or Pepsi and they're like great at marketing or whatever, that's fine because you know it's not a sort of technology dependent business, you know, or if they're running a financial consulting and their degrees in accounting, that makes sense. But I think you know, if you're the cavalry captain, you should know how to ride a horse.
Pretty basic.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's pretty different.
It's like it's disconcerting if the cavalry captain just falls off the horse. You know,
He's
not going to
scared of
inspire the
horses.
team.
I'm sorry, I'm scared of horses.
Gets on backwards. I'm like, oops.
Shifting gears to AI, Peter was here earlier and he was talking about how so far the only company to really make money off AI is NVIDIA with the chips.
Oh,
do you have a sense
doing?
yet of where
What?
you think the big applications
Come here.
will be from
Come here.
AI? Is it going to be in enabling self-driving? Is it going to be
What are you
enabling
doing?
robots? Is it transforming
What is it?
industries? I mean, it's still,
What do
I
you-
think,
you need
early in
attention?
terms of where the big business impact is going to be. Do you have a sense?
I think my
yet?
puppy's like having a bad day. You having a bad day? You having a bad day or something? You just, I don't know. Being weird today.
I mean, I think the spending on AI probably runs ahead of. I mean, it does run ahead of the revenue right now. There's no question about that. But the rate of improvement of AI is faster than any technology I've ever seen by far, and it's. I mean, like for example, the Turing test used to be a thing. Now, you know, your basic open source random LLM writing on a friggin' Raspberry Pi probably could, you know, beat the Turing test.
That's true.
So
Actually, the Turing test used to be a standard, and AI
I think actually
that. So,
like the good future of AI is one of immense prosperity, where there is an age of abundance, no shortage of goods and services.
Guys,
everyone can
thank
have
you
whatever they want,
again
unless
for stopping
except
in.
for things we
Thank you for the
artificially
likes
define to be
and the
scarce, like
subs,
some special
the
artwork.
gifted subs, the lurking.
But anything that is
Thank
a
you all.
manufactured good or provided service will.
I just
think,
appreciate
with the
any
advent of
time you
AI
guys stop by,
plus
so
robotics,
thank you.
that the cost of goods and services will trend to zero. Like, I'm not saying it'll be actually zero, but it'll be. Everyone will be able to have anything they want.
Mm-hmm.
That's the good future, of course. And you know, in my view, that's probably 80% likely. So look on the bright side. Only 20%. 20% probably of annihilation. It's nothing.
Is the 20% like? What does that look like?
The 20% annihilation.
I mean, frankly, I do have to go engage in some degree of deliberate suspension of disbelief with respect to AI in order to sleep well, and even then, because I think the actual issue, the most likely issue is like, well, how do we find meaning in a world where AI can do everything we can do, but better? That is perhaps the bigger challenge.
We're about 10 years out from that.
Although, at this point, I know more and more people who are retired, and they seem to enjoy that life. So.
Can't wait to get a robot companion.
But I think that maybe there'll
You
be
get
some
a personal
prices at the beginning,
trainer, a
like
cook,
because the computer
a
can do everything
maid, all in one.
you can do, but better. So
Yeah.
maybe that'll be a challenge. But really, you need the sort of end effectors. You need the autonomous cars, and you need the sort of humanoid robots or general purpose robots. But once you have general purpose humanoid robots and autonomous vehicles, you can build anything. And I think that there's no actual limit to the size of the economy. I mean, there's obviously the mass of Earth, like that will be one limit. But the economy is really just the average productivity per person times number of people. That's the economy. And if you've got humanoid robots that can do, where there's no real limit on the number of humanoid robots, and they can operate very intelligently, then there's no actual limit to the economy. There's no meaningful limit to the economy.
You guys just turned on Colossus, which
Yeah.
is like the largest private compute cluster, I guess, of GPUs anywhere. Is that right? Is that right?
It's the most powerful supercomputer of any kind.
Which sort of speaks to what David said and kind of what Peter said, which is a lot of the kind of economic value so far of AI has entirely gone to NVIDIA. But there are people with alternatives, and you're actually one with an alternative. Now, you have a very specific case because Dojo is really about images and large images, huge video. So
yeah, the Tesla problem is different from the the sort of LLM problem. The nature of the intelligence is actually, and what matters in the AI is different to the point you just made, which is that in Tesla's case, the context length is very long. So we've got gigabytes of context.
Gigabyte context windows, yeah.
Yeah, you've got sort of.
I was just bringing it up.
Kind of billions of tokens of context,
Right.
not any amount of context, because you've got seven cameras, and if you've got several, let's say you've got a minute of several high def cameras, then that's gigabytes. So you need to compress. So the Tesla problem is you've got to compress a gigantic context into the pixels that actually matter, and condense that over a time. And so you've got to, in both the time dimension and the space dimension, you've got to compress the pixels in space and the pixels over in time, and then have that inference done on a tiny computer, relatively speaking, a small, like a few hundred watts. It's a Tesla-designed AI inference computer, which is, by the way, still the best. There isn't a better thing we could buy from suppliers. So the Tesla-designed AI inference computer that's in the cars is better than anything we could buy from any supplier. Just by the way, that's kind of a.
Oh, by the way,
the Tesla AI chip team is extremely good.
Well, you guys, in the design, there was a technical paper and there was a deck that somebody on your team from Tesla published, and it was stunning to me. You designed your own transport control layer over Ethernet. You were like, Ethernet's not good enough for us.
Yeah.
So you had this TT COE or something, and you're like, we're just going to reinvent Ethernet and string these chips. It's pretty incredible stuff that's happening over there.
Yeah. No, the Tesla chip design team is extremely good.
But is there a world where, for example, other people over time that need, some sort of video use case or image use case,
I got called back
theoretically,
the other day.
you'd say, why not?
Husky,
I have
bro.
some extra cycles over here, so we should kind of make you a competitor of NVIDIA. It's not intentionally per se, but.
Yeah, I mean.
I got called fat on stream the other day by some nerdy loser
there's
fucks.
training and inference.
Probably little
And
fuckers.
we do have those two projects at Tesla.
Call
We've
me
got
fat.
Dojo,
They're like,
which is
yo,
the
go
training
watch
computer,
this dude. He's so old
and
and
then,
fat.
Our inference
You're fucking right.
chip, which is in every
I
car
didn't deny
inference
it.
computer.
I accepted it.
So, and Dojo, we've only had
That's
Dojo
what
1.
happens when
Dojo
you're
2
not
is,
soft.
we should have Dojo 2 in volume towards the end of next year. And that will be, we think, sort of comparable to sort of a B200 type system, a training system. So I guess there's some potential for that to be used as a service. Dojo is just kind of like, I mean, I guess I have like some improved confidence in Dojo, but I think we won't really know how good Dojo is until probably version 3. Like, it usually takes 3 major iterations on a technology for it to be excellent.
Hey, seriously, thank you guys for watching on
and
YouTube.
we'll only
Make
have
sure
the
you guys
second
hit
major
that
iteration next
subscribe,
year.
turn the notification bell on. I love you guys.
The 3rd iteration, I don't know, maybe late, 26 or something like that.
How's the Optimus project going? I remember we talked last.
Dude, I can't
you
wait to
said
get my
this
Optimus
publicly,
Prime
that
robot.
It's in doing some
Autobots,
light testing inside
simple.
the factory.
Yeah.
So it's actually being useful. What's the build of materials, and when, for something like that at scale? So when you
mainstream,
start making it, like you're making
2026.
the Model 3 now, and there's a
2026.
million of them coming off the factory line. What would they cost? $20,000, $30,000, $40,000? You think?
Mid-20s.
Yeah, I've discovered that really that, anything made in sufficient volume will asymptotically approach the cost of its materials. So now some things are constrained by the cost of intellectual property and like paying for patents and stuff. So a lot of what's in a chip is like paying royalties and depreciation of the chip fab. So, but the actual marginal cost of the chips is very low. So Optimus, it obviously is a humanoid robot. It weighs much less and is much smaller than a car. So you could expect that in high volume, and I'd say that you also probably need three production versions of Optimus. So you need to refine the design at least three major times, and then you need to scale production to sort of the 1 million unit plus per year level.
Hey, Dan.
And I think at that point,
you're not that
the
guy.
Cost,
I was just explaining how I got called fat.
The labor
and
and materials
old
on Optimus
stream,
is probably not.
And what do you mean? I'm just
much
hanging
more
out.
than
I'm trying to enjoy
$10,000.
some scotch.
And that's a decade-long journey, maybe?
Basically, think of it like
Listen to
Optimus
I'm
will
in
cost
Discord,
less
by the way.
than
I'm trying to listen to
a small car.
Right. Stream. The
So
summit was really great. I watched the highlights.
At scale volume with three major.
Bro, I don't want to turn myself up,
so
dude.
for a small car.
Okay, hold on. Let me adjust it.
It costs $25,000.
So if I turn the volume,
it's probably
does that sound okay volume-wise? And then do I sound fine now? Does it sound better?
Your body like
over the movie.
R2D2.
So does it sound better now? Because I did adjust it. I did adjust it. So testing 1, 2, 3. Sounds better. Okay, cool. Thank you. Like, you want me to turn up the? Do you want me to turn down the volume for the desktop and turn up my voice?
No, they're awesome.
Because actually, I would rather turn down
their personality and
like this. You're good now. Okay, cool. But Dan, what are you doing, man? You're up late. It's 11. What are you doing, bro? And also, what do you mean? Do I not look good?
2 or 3 years.
I felt like I actually looked pretty today. Like I actually thought I looked pretty in pink. So I was just hanging out. I figured like if we're to I don't know.
It's probably on the order.
The light, like if I turn on my actual studio lights, I look ugly. I mean, honestly, like I view it, like I watch myself, right? Obviously, like we rehearse in the mirror and shit. We're actors, but made version of a horror. I mean, kind of. Maybe I should get like here. Let me get an OnlyFans.
In 30 years,
Oh.
the number of robots on the planet versus humans.
Oh.
The number of robots will vastly exceed the number of humans.
Oh, here.
I mean, you have to say like who would not want their robot buddy? Everyone wants a robot buddy. This is like especially if it,
How's it? Is it good? What's it good?
Is it good? Mow the lawn. It could watch your kids. It could, like it could teach your kids. It could
get the lip licking down. Make heavy eye contact.
Yeah.
Get all serious.
And Mars is already the robot.
What are you
planet.
wearing?
There's like a whole bunch of
Dan, what do you?
robots. Like
I want you to rub me down.
Yes, only robots.
In some oil.
So yeah,
Some hot.
I think the sort of
hot
useful humanoid robot opportunity
So
is the single biggest opportunity
What is it, dude? The dancing. My dog's like, Dad, what are you doing, bro? My dog is like, what's going on? Yeah, get up here. Come on.
At least
Up.
2 to 1, maybe 3 to 1.
And then
Everybody will want one.
it's my
There'll be a bunch
puppy.
of robots that, that are made to
You're so sus. You mean you're so hot, right? That's what you mean.
Learns how to do different tasks, or
Come here, you're gonna get your little peanut butter treat. Dude, these are all natural stuff. They're really good. Peanut butter pie. It's like there's like 3 ingredients. Go on, up here. Come on. Jump here.
I mean, I'm operating my meat.
Yeah. All right, come on, up here. Get up, up. She's so sweet. Like she's so sensitive about it too. Yeah.
Sort of learn more and more.
I don't know. I feel like I still need like a dog cam. I like the angle here because like will chill there. Like also Una sits by my side. Right? She'll usually like sit by my side. Hey, come here, get in your bed.
Obviously why you have opposable
Come here,
thumbs, but
get in your bed.
also
Come on.
why, for example,
Lay down.
your
Lay down.
muscles, the major muscles that
Lay down.
operate
Come on.
your
Lay down,
hand
Pop-Pop.
are actually
Lay down.
your forearm.
Lay down. Good
and,
girl.
And your
Good
fingers
girl.
are primarily
Stay.
operated. Like,
Stay. Stay.
Your
Stay.
The muscles that actuate.
And she just sits back there.
Are located.
And now she's up.
Your fingers
And now she's back over here because she wants Dad.
And your fingers.
She wants Dad. Also, Dan, you've known Una since she was a puppy, bro. Literally, you've known Una since she was a puppy. I was going to come and go when she was a fucking puppy, bro. That's like wild.
And it has only 11 degrees of freedom, so it doesn't have all the degrees of freedom of human hand, which has, depending on how you count it, roughly 25 degrees of freedom.
Dan, you don't understand like how proud of you I am.
Strong enough in certain ways because the actuators have.
Like honestly, man, keep grinding on the streaming, bro. Like I'm still just like when I was in your stream watching too, like just the gifted subs just blew my freaking mind, bro. Like that's just
They operate the fingers through cables.
incredible.
Just like
You far surpassed me, and I've been streaming for like 4 or 5 years. I'm just very vulgar, a complete dick, and nobody likes that shit, so I'll probably never go anywhere. But so I'm more of an investor, and I'm just like a part-time dick streamer. But like going into your stuff, genuinely, I was so fucking impressed, dude. I've always known that. You've always been way more funny than me. Like I always laugh. I'm always laughing when I'm watching your shit.
has a personality and can process.
Oh yeah.
It's a lot of energy to do it constantly, though. You know what I mean? Like I know that. I see that. Like even with your stream, but like your energy still is like up here. I'm way down here. You're like literally here. You need to get here, right to the top. But you're like right here. You're like literally 3/4 of the way. I'm like 20%.
I know for me, the funniest week of my life, or one of the
Yeah.
funniest, was when you did SNL.
I do need one more monitor,
I got to tag along.
and I can.
You saw it.
I don't know.
Maybe
I wish I could improve my stream more and get out there more. That's why, like, I really wanted to pick your brain on like what to do and everything.
we laughed for 12 hours a day.
Because you're doing the right things that I'm clearly missing and just too retarded and low IQ. Because I am obviously fucking low IQ and retarded most of the time. Like, I'm ADHD, but I don't know why I can't figure that stuff out. I've watched videos and stuff. Like, I've learned what I know now, but
Just say the stuff that got on the cutting.
that's why I bought Warhammer. That's why I bought the first Ascendant.
That's what I'm saying. Can you just
You know?
say a couple of funny ones? Yeah, that he doesn't like. You can say it so that he doesn't get.
Yeah, I know. Rocket League hampered it. Rock, yeah. I just passionately like. I only stream because like that's my passion, and I guess I did what my passion was. So I don't mind that I'm way behind, but I don't ever want to look at it as a business one day. But like now I could play all games. I have fun in all games anyway. So yeah. I was really trying hard to become somewhat in Rocket League, and I played pros and stuff. You know, I did get somewhere. I think I personally, like deep down, got somewhere in the game that I wanted to get to. So
Saturday Night Live.
I don't know.
Actually live. Like live.
Oh yeah.
Live, or do they have like a delay, or like just in case there's a wardrobe malfunction or something like that? Is it like a 5-second delay? What's really going on? But there's a way to test this.
Right. We came up with a way.
There's a way to test this. Which is.
I also did a clickbait title. How's my title?
I walk on and says, "This is the script." I'll throw it on the ground. We're gonna find out tonight, right now,
If Saturday
Night Live is actually live.
All the quality and can process.
Oh yeah. And it's also like not
Hello,
in certain
clickbait, bro.
ways because the actuators.
Dan, are you playing? You want to play some Warhammer? I'll hop on.
So the next generation Optimus hand, which we have in prototype form, the actuators have moved to the forearm, just like human, and operate the fingers through cables, just like the human hand. And then the next generation hand has 22 degrees of freedom, which we think is
oh, that's cool, bro.
Enough to do almost anything that a human can do.
Wait, D and what?
And presumably, I think it was written that
Darker, darker.
X and Tesla may work
Yeah,
together,
yeah.
you know, provide services. But my immediate thought went to, oh, if you just provide a grok to the robot, then the robot has a personality and can process voice and video and images and all of that stuff.
Yeah, as we wrap here, I think everybody talks about.
It's downloaded. If you play with me tomorrow.
People don't know you have a great sense of humor.
That's not true.
Oh, you do. People don't see it, but I would say I know for me,
I bought
the
it.
funniest week of
I
my
had
life,
Darker
one
and
of the
Darker.
funniest was when you did SNL, and I got to tag along.
For sure.
Maybe you saw it. Maybe
Yeah.
behind the scenes, like some of your funniest recollections.
Pretty sure I bought it when I bought Enshrouded. My buddy had me play Enshrouded also.
When we
He played Enshrouded. I played Enshrouded for like 8 hours. I got it, you know.
The first couple of days, but
Yeah, I was a bit worried at the beginning there because, frankly, nothing was funny.
day one was rough.
Yeah, so I mean,
Well, it's like a rule, but can't you guys just say it? Just say the stuff that got on the cutting. Some of
The funniest skits were the ones they didn't let you do.
That's what I'm saying. Can you just
There were
say
a couple of funny ones.
You can say
I don't know. I'll check it. Like,
I mean, how much time do we have here?
Well, we should just
yeah, I'm usually like pretty melee. Like I don't know, Diablo and stuff. I'm magic though.
Not getting on air.
Do you really want to hear that? I mean,
PG. Okay. Yeah, I mean I can do that.
It was a little funny.
I won't drop any F bombs or anything like that.
Here we go.
all right, here we go, guys.
Retarding. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, you're not
So
wrong.
one of the things that I think everyone's been sort of wondering this whole time is Saturday Night Live
What are you doing?
actually live? Like
You just
live, or do they have?
I
Like,
want a girl who looks at
or,
me like my dog
like,
does.
just
bro.
in case there's a wardrobe malfunction or something.
She's my
like
emotional
that.
support animal. So.
Is it like a?
That's why she's always by my side. Like, she's like when I'm high anxiety.
What's really going on?
Like like when I'm getting like close to a panic attack or something, bro. She comes over.
We came up with a way.
There's a way to test
Comes over.
which is
I have a
what's going on.
Yeah, high anxiety and stuff. My brother gets really bad panic attacks. I don't take medication
We're gonna find
for
out
my panic attacks. I never have. I don't hopefully believe I ever will.
Live.
When I was little,
And the way
I kind of just like
is I'm going to
zone out my brain. I'll zero out my brain. I'll basically murk my brain and breathing, you know. So
And if
drop some
you see
Xannies.
my
No, I used to I used to do that, you know, with Xannies, Percocets, Adderall, Hydros, Oxys,
all these years.
Xanny bars.
Them right now.
Like the footballs too, bro. Like I used to get like the yellow footballs. I used to like the blue footballs. I just say it tastes like blueberry. I felt like they did.
Yeah, we're like
But,
kind of hungover
I don't
on
know.
the weekend. And we're like,
Yeah. I had a couple years like that.
And
on that
it's,
shit though.
it's,
You know how it is. Man.
Jason's on.
It's really, dude, it kills your brain. I don't want to kill my brain. Like I killed my brain till I was like 20, dude. Like I obliterated my brain for like 3 years straight, like 3 or 4 years. The ladders. What are the ladders? Is that the? Oh, are you talking about like where it's like the bar and it's got the slits? Is that what you're talking about? Or yeah, okay, yeah. Bro, okay, so I'll say this on stream. I think you know this. I think I've told you the story because this is honestly, I tell the story to everybody. I'm not embarrassed about it. I mean, like it was a bad time, but like I would snort, right? I was into meth when I was 17. I believe I was 17, right? I was into meth for a little while, like couple months. And Dead Island came out about 2 weeks before I got my first baggie of meth, and I actually wanted cocaine. Like I got like a little Ziploc bag about yay big, right? Like I wanted to get some cocaine. So I sent some of my buddies, Troy and Austin, and sent them out. I was like, oh, hey, here's like $30, $40. Go give me some coke. They came back probably like an hour later. Came back a little baggy. And it looked like glass shards. I've never seen this in my life. I've never seen it. And it was like glass shards. And I like looked at it and I was like, guys, this is meth. This is like glass shards, bro. This is clearly thought it was meth. It was meth. Very cloudy shit. Anyway, started doing that, breaking it up. Did a couple bumps. Captain America just came out also. You do a bump of meth, right? And it literally shoots up like from your nose, right? Like shoots up from your nose. Up to your skull, and like right through here, right in the middle, man, and like you'd be crying, and like I'd be like on the right side of my head, bro. I would say Red Skull because it would burn the fuck out of your skull when you would snort it. And seriously, I was saying Red Skull. Captain America like just came out with Red Skull. Like, dude, that was the first reference I made, the first hit I did. Swear to God, man. And like, I would be up 2 days at a time, right? Like I would usually only be up for like a day and a half. I would be like 3-4 bumps. The first time I freaked the fuck out, I was up way too long. And it was a bad time. Because like I kept doing it. I was like, I'm not feeling anything, guys. Not feeling anything. I let 45 minutes go by. No, dude, I thought I was gonna have a seizure. I was watching Adventure Time one time, and I was like, the first time I did, I was watching Adventure Time, and the lights and stuff were so like I was watching. I had to stop watching. I was like covering my eyes. Like I thought I was gonna have a seizure. Shit was wild. But anyways, I was killing zombies in Dead Island, so like I found a lot of pleasure tweaking, right? Like I was twacked out of my mind, and I was just upstairs. I was homeless at the time, and I was living with my buddy, right? This was during my homeless time, by the way, and I was upstairs, and I was just obviously my buddy's mom's house, and like I got a curtain over the stairs. My stairs are right here, everybody can hear me, but I'm like up there just fucking twacked out, just killing zombies, just fucking going to town over and over again. Like, oh, dude. Anyways, it was a very enjoyable time. Like, I had the best time playing the fuck out of Dead Island, twacked out of my mind. Never forget it. I got like all the crazy weapons on Dead Island. Even though I was a tweaker, I was at least still good enough to like look up where the weapons were and like stay focused enough to like lock in. Like even as a gamer, I still locked the fuck in, okay? So just say it. I didn't have any like Breaking Bad, like I'm gonna shoot the neighbor type vibes. I never had that. Very paranoid though, but high intensity.
Yes.
And we got Doge on
well, I mean, there's a bunch of things that I said that were just not on the script. Like they have these like cue cards for what you're supposed to say, and I just didn't say it.
Anyways, that's my tweaker story about when I played Dead Island when I was like 17. Roughly 15 years ago. Wild. What, you know?
Elon wanted to do Doge. This is the other one. He wanted to do Doge on late night.
Just staring,
Hey, check out,
staring dead into my eyes.
I wanted to do the Doge.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, Dan, hey, have a good night, man. Thanks for chilling for a bit, bro. What time are you gonna go live tomorrow?
I need the music to cue things up.
You bring me on my daughter's wedding. Listen, you ask for Doge.
Yeah,
You asked for Doge. They were talking about Zootopia earlier, and there's a scene in Zootopia when he's about to get iced. It's kind of funny. Noon Eastern, I think. What? Oh my God! Fuck. Central Time. Central Time. Are you Eastern now? Northeast. So that's 2 hours behind. 2 hours. 2 hours behind. Central. East. Right.
Are you even a friend?
1 hour. Okay, so you gotta go like New York for 2 hours, I'm pretty sure. Cali's 2 behind. Colorado's 1.
So
that's potential.
They had great potential. So they come to me, and I'm talking to Colin and Jost, who's got a great sense of humor. He's amazing. He loves Elon, and he's like, we can't do it because of the law and stuff like that. the law and liability. So I said, it's okay. Elon called Comcast.
I don't know those.
He put in an offer, and they just accepted it.
Yeah.
I know those abbreviations.
so it's fine.
Yeah.
And Colin Jost looks.
Hey, by the way, what does
So
KEKW mean?
You're serious?
Q.
Yep. We own NBC now.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, well that kind of changes things, doesn't it? I'm like, absolutely. We're a go on Doge.
Yeah.
And then he's like, you're fucking with me. And I'm like,
No, no face. It's an emote.
Or are we?
No. KEKW.
Week of, and that like is like 2 of 10 stories.
Yeah, we're gonna
We'll save the other 8.
Yeah.
But it was, and I was just so happy for you to see you
Emotes.
have a great week of just joy and fun.
Bro, have your dude make me some emotes. Like, do this one.
So much bullshit in your life. To have those moments,
That's an emote right there,
just
right?
laugh.
And then I want one with like a big ass forehead. I want my forehead elevated like 3 inches.
We gotta get you back on SNL. Who wants to back on
I want to be in there with you though, because like the reason why I've never committed to getting emotes or stuff because I never officially know somebody to do it, and I always feel like I'm gonna get taken advantage of and send them a lot of money. That's why like I'm very leery of scamming stuff, and like I've had people offer, and I think legit people. But when it boils down to it, they like I've even been called weird like twice because I was like, bro, send me a video. I was like, send me a video like of you just saying my name on cam, and they would leave. Which they're probably bots, but I just need some proof. Like, how much did you pay? Like what? Like what's the what's the running rate for you? Like. If you need to like inflate it 10%, 15%, that's cool, but so what could he do with like $500? Can he like crop clips and go through my shit? Like I want somebody to go through my videos because I obviously have years and years of content, and clips, Apex, Rocket League, a bunch of games like Hogwarts Legacy, like Diablo, Final Fantasy. I got some epic Final Fantasy clips, bro. I'll play Final Fantasy forever. But like, what do I want an editor to go through my shit. Okay, well, Dan, tomorrow, call me. You got my number. Let's set something up. Let's fucking call. Let's get in Discord and let's get this shit done tomorrow, bro. You're also gonna get at least a $50 spiff off of the hookup. Okay, like let's get this done, bro. I got you. Pay $50 spiffs on that, dude. It's like work. I got a hat trick today. I sold 3 cars today, so I got an extra $100 today just for selling 3 cars in one day. And so, well, no, I know, but like, put the money into your stream. Like, I don't. The reason I like obviously try to give you as much as I can is like I'm trying to support you. So, the $50 is still for the hookup, but it's also an investment into my best friend. So. Yeah, well, hop in there with me. That's what, just for like 10 seconds, 20 seconds, introduce me. I just want like an introduction. That's all I care about. Yeah. Fine, fucker. Bro, you said keep it PG-13. You're saying fucker, bro. You gonna be awake that early? Wait, what time? What time did you say? Let me see. What time did you say, though? I'm like trying to go back. You keep saying one word. Text. Tell me the time. It's 11, so I mean, I don't know. I'm live at noon. Oh yeah, I'm up at like 8:30 is the latest. 8:30 Central is the latest you'll find me up in the day, bro. I'm typically up around 7:30. Like no, usually 7:30 to 8:30 is. Yeah. Yeah, just call me. I'm gonna go out, so I'm gonna grab breakfast. I think I'm gonna hit Bass Pro. Yeah, and because like I always go to Bass Pro because I'm looking for a couple guns right now. Like, there's an X92 Performance that I want, but I want dual wielding. And they're Berettas, right? X92 Performance Berettas. I think I've told you, fucking like straight up Angelina Jolie style. I'm gonna like get the hair done, right? Like just fucking do an album cover or something. But. Yeah, the X9, they're $1,700. If I do get the Bass Pro credit card, $1,300 a pop, and I don't know. I mean, in the bed nerd. All right, fine. Fuck. See you, homie. Have a good night. Sweet dreams, baby girl. Call me tomorrow, though, seriously.
Get him out. And it's an honor that you're here. I'd like to take some questions. No?
On the debate, first of all, I know you said that you will not do another debate. Some of your own Republican allies have come out and said that you missed the mark. That you missed
No, excuse me. Most of my Republican allies had said I was great in the debate. You're just like, a lot of other people at Fox. Well, why don't you say most 94% of the Republicans said I did phenomenally in the debate. Some said that I could have been tougher. I don't know how I could have been tougher when I said he's the worst president and she is the worst vice president in the history of our country. 94% of the Republicans, and the only one that wouldn't would maybe a Mitt Romney or somebody like that. But we've gotten great praise for the debate, and based on the polls, like Rasmussen being up 6 today, the first poll out, based on the polls, obviously, I did well in the debate. Also, based on the debate polls, where I sometimes had, in one case, 92% wins. So, look, you come from Fox. You shouldn't play the same game as everybody else.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Coming in?
Go ahead.
Coming in? Hey, guys. Thank you guys all for tuning in, chilling. Hope you guys are all good. Come here.
Well,
You want a treat? I'll get you a treat. Come here.
Laura's been a supporter, just like a lot of people are supporters, and she's been a supporter of mine. She speaks very positively of the campaign. I'm not sure why you asked that question, but Laura is a supporter.
This is Una.
I don't control
This is
Laura.
my
Laura has to say
puppy.
what you want.
This is
She's
my
a-
daughter's
she's a free
puppy.
spirit.
This is
Well, I don't know.
Una.
Hey, look, I can't tell Laura what to do. Laura's a supporter. I have a lot of supporters,
That's my puppy.
but I don't.
That's
know
my.
what-
This is my daughter's protector. Good
that's
old
okay.
Una. It's your little treat.
Yeah, please. I just don't know. Laura's a supporter. I don't know. She is a strong person. She's got strong opinions, and I don't know what she said, but that's not up to me. She's a supporter. Please.
on your plan.
Okay, a lot of people do. It's a very big plan.
Remarks about your opponent, Steve. Also, it's about conspiracy theories about 9/11. Do you disavow those remarks?
Well, I have to see what the remarks are. You're telling me.
What are they talking about?
For the first time we
Oh,
hear about.
here.
We're here discussing the destruction of San Francisco and California by a person that's running for president. So I don't even know what you're talking about. I do know that she may have said something based on what you're telling me, but I don't know what she said. But I'll go take a look and I'll put out a statement later on. But I really don't know. Please.
Springfield, Ohio is experiencing a migrant crisis.
Yes.
Event there to show the media what's actually happening in the town hall.
Well, we could, and maybe we'll do that. Where are you from? That's good. Very good. They're doing a very good job. Yeah, it's very good. No, I will, maybe Springfield, maybe Aurora, maybe both. We'll go there. I can say this, we will do large deportations from Springfield, Ohio. Large deportations. We're going to get these people out. We're bringing them back to Venezuela. You know, he told Biden he's not accepting anybody back. They moved all their criminals. Not all of them, but the rest are moving in now. They emptied their jails in Venezuela, emptied their criminals, emptied the nests. They call them nests of bad people. They're all now in the United States, and they're now taking over cities. It's like an invasion from within. We're going to have the largest deportation in the history of our country, and we're going to start with Springfield and Aurora. Okay?
Mayor of Springfield, Ohio, the police chief, the Republican governor of Ohio have all debunked this story about people with pets. And now there are bomb threats at schools and kids being evacuated. Why do you still pray?
No. The real threat is what's happening at our border. Because you have thousands of people being killed by illegal migrants coming in and also dying. You have women dying as they come up. They're coming up in large groups. We call it a caravan. I think I came up with that name, but it's really what it is. 10,000, 15,000, 20,000 people. And you have large numbers of women being killed in those caravans coming up to this country. And then when they get here, they can go into the country and they end up being sex slaves and everything else. Those are your real problems, not the problem that you're talking about. Yeah, okay.
Question, so you just said that you will carry out the largest mass deportation of illegal immigrants. How are you going to have, for example, Governor Gavin Newsom or officials in sanctuary cities comply with that?
Well, you know, if you go to the people of California, they don't want to have sanctuary
What's up, guys?
cities.
Also, if you guys want to follow me on X,
Sanctuary cities.
it's
Sanctuary cities
Buttsinator.
are
Go figure.
really blocks that protect
Buttsinator
bad
on
people
all
from
socials for the most
deportation
part.
and other problems.
Just look
And they're
up
gonna do it,
Buttsinator.
and
My last
the federal
name
government
is
has
Butts.
tremendous power.
Hence
We're not gonna
Josh
let
Butts.
States, even like California, even though I know it's largely sanctuary state, essentially. But we're not going to let that happen to the people of California. They want these people out. They're just as scared as everybody else. The people of Ohio are scared. The people of Colorado, you have a governor there who's very weak. He doesn't know what to do. And he doesn't want to talk about it. A lot of it, as for your question, they don't want to talk about what's happening. They say it's so bad for the city. Let's not go public. Let's live with it for a little while. Maybe it'll go away. It's not going to go away. It's going to get worse. It's going to get so bad. You know what we're experiencing now is they're just getting settled in. There's 21 million people that have come in. They're just getting settled in. It's going to get much worse. It's going to get worse at a level like nobody's ever seen before. Go ahead.
Dang.
We're seeing more and more companies are shipping their jobs overseas, but
Yeah.
even for white-collar jobs,
Right.
they're having problems with that because of mass layoffs. How will you prevent these white-collar jobs from being
By lowering taxes and regulations. And what they're doing is they're seeing that every time it looks like Kamala's doing well, companies want to leave. Stock markets go down.
Unhinged or off the
Stock
wall,
market,
aligning with the
there's
persona that might be.
A great gentleman, Scott Bessent, who is one of the top Wall Street
Yes.
people, he said the market's only up because they all think that Trump is going to get elected. We had a great stock market. Even with COVID, we ended up handing over a market that was higher than previous to COVID or the China virus coming in. No, we are going to make sure that the taxes are going to stay where they are and or come down, ideally come down, both for the middle class and for corporations, because corporations put the people to work. We had the best numbers in the history of our country, by far, not even close. And there are companies leaving because they think it's happening right now to our country. And one of the reasons I'm doing this today is to let them know you're not going to have to leave because we're going to take care of the problem. They have a tremendous crime problem. Like if you're in Los Angeles, look at the crime numbers. And then you have the FBI lying about the numbers, saying the numbers went down. But anybody with common sense know the numbers are through the roof. I didn't know they were as high as they are. But think of it. How good is a person from a government agency that would release the numbers when they saw that I was unfairly targeted by ABC, and you could say by the FBI with false numbers. So I have great respect. I have to find out who that person is or who that group is, but I have great respect. Go ahead, one more. Yeah.
North Korea, Kim Jong-un just toured a uranium facility. The U.S. is saying that Iran is sending ballistic missiles to Russia. How, if reelected, how would you address the situation with our adversaries?
I'll be able to make phone calls and solve most of the problems. I may actually have to meet a couple of times. But, you know, Viktor Orban, and you've heard me say this, but it wasn't long ago, he said the only way you're going to solve the world problem is Trump has to be president again. And I don't say it. I didn't say it. I sort of would be embarrassed to say it. But he said everybody was afraid of Trump. He said China was afraid, Russia was afraid, North Korea was afraid. Everybody was afraid. We had no wars. We defeated ISIS in 4 weeks, and they said it was going to take 5 years, right? The generals in Washington. I went there and met a great general and some great people, and I said, go to it, and he took them out in 4 weeks, 100% of the ISIS caliphate. I flew there. I flew to Iraq, to the field, and they took them out in a very short period of time, short order. We have a great military, but, you know, a great military needs a leader. If you don't have leaders, then you end up with Afghanistan, the worst withdrawal from a country in the history. Look, I've gotten to know great people. I went to Arlington at their request, and I stood, and I was with them for hours, and I stood with them. They did a ceremony, and then they asked me if I'd go down to the graves of their children. They called them their children, that they always will be their children. And there were tears all over, as they should be. And they said, sir, could you take pictures with me by the grave of my son, in one case a daughter? And I said, I'd love to. And I took pictures with them for a while, and then I left, and that was it. And I got home, and I got a call from the people in the campaign. Sir, the Biden people are saying that you did this for publicity. If people knew how hard it was to get there, because I was coming from a location that was very far away, and yet they were having the ceremony, and I really felt, you know, I had them up to Bedminster, most of the family members, and I got to know them. They're great people. Their sons and daughter, just as though Kamala shot them with a pistol in her hand or his hand, they were killed by Biden and Kamala. They were killed. They should have never left from that airfield. They should have left for Bagram. We should have never given up Bagram. Bagram now is controlled by China. The reason we shouldn't have given it up was not because of Afghanistan. The reason we shouldn't have given it up, 1 hour away from where China makes its nuclear weapons, and I wasn't giving it up. We were getting out quickly and effectively. I'm the one that got the numbers down to less than 5,000 soldiers. But I would have never left unless they fulfilled their obligations under an agreement. I had a wonderful agreement, but the agreement said you have to do this, this, this. They didn't do 3 of the first 5 things, so therefore they would have done it. Abdul was the leader, and he wouldn't have done it, and he would have never done that to us. And just in finishing up with that, and I appreciate the question actually, but in finishing up with that, for 18 months, I spoke to Abdul over the phone. For 18 months, not one American soldier was shot or killed. Not one American soldier was even shot at. Abdul understood. Don't do it. I said, don't do it, Abdul. Don't do it. And for 18 months, not one soldier was even shot at. And that's the way it's supposed to be, right? And then they had that horrible situation with the 13 dead, leaving billions of dollars of equipment behind. And leaving a lot of Americans behind, a lot of Americans. And you know what else? Leaving a lot of soldiers badly wounded. Nobody ever talks about them, but I do.
Talk about California. You are claiming that we need to do major changes in this state. If you're president, what's the biggest policy difference for the people of California? And what would the nature of your relationship be with the leaders of California who you're calling scum?
Well, I would have a great relationship with them. And what you have to do is start all over again. You cannot have these policies of high taxation. You can't have these policies of politics where you go after your politicians. You have to have an honest voting system because, you know, you don't have an honest voting system. They send out millions and millions of ballots. They go all over the place. Some people get 2, 3, 4, 5. You have a very dishonest system over here. If I ran with an honest vote counter in California, I would win California. But the votes are not counted honestly. It's a very dishonest system that you have in California. And I'd make it business friendly. Right now it's business unfriendly. Look, Elon Musk is a friend of mine. He endorsed me very powerfully. He endorses me every time he speaks. He really wants to see us win because he knows we can do a great job and turn it around. He left California. I said to him, Elon, did anybody ever call you? It's a big company. He moved to Texas. A lot of people moving to Texas. Great state. Excellent governor, an excellent lieutenant governor. Great people. They love entrepreneurs. They love the people that live there. They want to keep their taxes low. Taxes are way too high here. But I said to Elon, so you have a big company and you're moving it to Texas from California. Did anybody call you, like the governor, to try and get you to stay? No. Did anybody see you, write a letter, do anything to try and keep you to stay? You have thousands of jobs. He said nobody ever called. There'd be so many things you could do. This would be the easiest place to turn around if they knew what to do. Look at it. I mean, look at the weather. We're standing out here on the Pacific Ocean in the most beautiful weather. A lot of states don't have weather like this. They don't have Pacific Oceans. So it's many things you could do, but you start with lowering taxes and making it friendly. But think of it, Elon Musk, a great guy, brilliant guy, big company, is leaving. Nobody even calls him to try and get him to stay. I would have been on him. I would have said, let's have lunch.
All right, here we go. We've got some new words from the creative director of Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2 about things like, well, will we see new playable races in the future? Will Saber Interactive move on from Space Marine 2 quickly and begin work on a Space Marine 3? A lot of you guys from my previous video were very worried about that one. Plus, one of the worst takes about Space Marine 2, and yes, it comes from IGN, and something strange is happening with Space Marine 2 Operations Mode. And a warning for PC players, you gotta know this one. and someone did the impossible. Yes, they actually put some of the campaign missions, I kid you not, into operations mode. But how in the world did they do it? And we need to talk about the severe lack of chaos customization in this game. And also, check this out right here. Can you imagine being part of the team that developed Space Marine 2 to actually be a part of creating something so amazing? And to become a successful coder or programmer, you do not have to sit through boring classes. And that's where boot.dev comes in, replacing mundane classes with fun, memorable courses that are just like in Board. So you're 5% a free demo of every player, such as orcs or Tyranids. Remember, he's saying playable, which really piqued my interest here. And the creative director of Space Marine 2 said this: "We've created an amazing foundation with this game. All the tech and gameplay mechanics are in place to move forward and tell all kinds of stories only."
Oh, I did not expect that at all. I thought my buddy had her there. Right, went all day here and he threw it right to him. Oh, really bad. This guy's a retard. Finally scored. Out of 5 shots, he's finally done it. This guy is so bad on my team. Turtle gold to finish it, baby. You don't really see them turtle goals ever. Like bring them out once in a while. The old school Lemmy turtle gold guy. Hey, thank you guys for watching on YouTube. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe or notification bell on. Also enjoy a nice glass of scotch. Cheers. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. I just want to get a touch. So close. Got him. Caught him sleeping. Shit. What's up, puppers? What? What is it? What is it? And you just missed an open net like an idiot. Teammate is fucking garbage. I know that. Yeah, bitch. Hey, also, thank you guys for tuning in. I love you guys. Also, by the way, I didn't even mention the top tier ganja. You guys are tuning in. Thank you. Had to go pour a little something. Cheers, guys. And I got my placement put me in champ 2 dip 2. I mean, I lost like most of my games, though. I'm grand champ. So. But placement champ 2, not bad. Okay. Can I play cash? No, that's hop on a different game actually. Honestly, might hop off for the night, dude. Getting a lot of faggots tonight, so no, I'm out.